Our next speaker is a native of Laplace. He served as a student assistant in recruiting at LSU for 2014 through 2017 and served as a donor recognition coordinator for the Tiger Athletic Foundation. He took over his current position earlier this year. He attended Riverside Academy, where he was valedictorian. LSU, of course, 4-0 after a 38-21 win over Louisiana Tech and ranked 5th in the nation. The Tigers will host Ole Miss Saturday at 8:15 p.m. on ESPN. Please welcome from LSU's Player Personnel Department, Nathan Triche. Nathan?
Appreciate you, Ken, and I want to give a thanks to Coach O and Coach Baglio for giving me the opportunity to come speak today. As Ken said, I'm the Assistant Director of Player Personnel with the Tigers, and we're 4-0. Not many people, just a few weeks back, thought that they would be in this position. They thought we'd be about 2-2, and just shows how Coach has gotten these guys ready and how much poise and character this team has. Coach kind of hit in the offseason the reason why we lost a few games last year. It's about 4 main points he wanted to correct, and it's probably the reason why we are 4-0 right now. First thing Coach wanted to do, he realized we have to throw the ball, but we win games when we run the ball well. Since Coach O has taken over, we've had 5 different running backs that have rushed for at least 100 yards. And that stat changed last week from 4 to 5 when Clyde Edwards-Helaire did that. All 5 of those players are from Louisiana, 3 from Baton Rouge, and 2 from New Orleans. Top 4 rushing performances in LSU history have been under Coach O. And we are 14-0 under Coach O when we have a 100-yard rusher. So that's one of the key pieces of the formula that he wanted to identify, and he wanted to correct it, and he wanted to make sure that we do that on a week-to-week basis. The next thing Coach wanted to correct was the red zone efficiency for our offense, which was not too hot last year. This year we lead the nation right now. We're 16 for 16 through 4 weeks. So that's one key thing that he wanted to do. The next thing Coach wanted to shore up the special teams. Obviously that cost us, the bowl game last year, but a couple others as well where we could have been more efficient. And we believe that we've done that. Cole Tracy is 2nd in the nation in kicking. Had the game winner against Auburn that hopefully most of y'all watched that. We have our kickoff guy, Avery Atkins. He is 6th in the nation in touchbacks. Last season we had 33 total touchbacks, and now through 4 games we have 22. So just not allowing the return game to those hidden yardage, we're not allowing all that to come back to bite us. Next thing Coach wanted, turnover ratio. He understands that when we win the turnover margin, we win games. So last year, tied the record for least turnovers in a season with 8 through 13 games. This year, we had 1 last week. That was our first one, and we'll go to the film to correct that. We are 4th in the nation right now in turnover margin. We're at +8, so that's one thing. That's a perfect example of what Coach wanted fixed, and that's why we're 4-0 today. As far as recruiting goes and what I deal with, we manage all the prospect film and all the cut-ups that the coaches watch on a week-to-week basis. We are actively recruiting this state because we know so many guys that are on this current team right now that are making plays for us come from Louisiana and in the Metro New Orleans area. We have 21 guys just on our 2-deep roster from the Metro New Orleans area, and we're actively evaluating guys in this area, and we're continuing to do that on a week-to-week basis. And as far as that, we have Ole Miss this week. It'll be a tough test. They have a very high-scoring offense, but we'll look to shut those guys down. And have a good week. Get to 5-0. Any questions?
Raise your hand if you have a question.
All right.
I know Burrow's stats aren't the best, but the key is drop passes, and it keeps showing up. How is he attacking that? It is an issue, and you will pay for it in big games. So how is he addressed that?
As far as the drop passes, that's something we go over. We have Coach Jerry Sullivan, longtime NFL veteran, and Coach Mickey Joseph. They both work with the receivers every day. And we're constantly going back, reviewing the film. What can we do better? What drills can we implement that relate to the game? And how game type situations, we try to mock the drills as best we can to that. And that's what Coach Sullivan and Coach Mickey are doing every day.
What are you looking at as far as prospects for next year? Maybe drawing some kids out of New Orleans. I don't know whether from Jesuit, from Holy Cross. I don't know if you can talk specifically about individuals, but you know, how many blue chippers do we expect might be coming out of that way? You know, and that whether they wind up in an LSU or a Tulane. What are we looking at this year as far as, you know, this crop of kids? We've seen a lot of kids that will be playing on Saturdays.
Yeah, I can't comment specifically on, you know, a certain high school or the recruits that are there. So, you know, actually Tulane came earlier in the spring. Their personnel guys, Wesley Fritz and all those guys that came over, and we, you know, we like to keep if a guy's not our LSU quality, we like to help those guys out, the Tulanes and McNeeses as well, because it's better for the state. You know, those guys, they come to us for advice on guys that they just want that we don't take. So we're actively recruiting guys. We're always, you know, 1 week a guy might not be on the board and the next day he could be on the board. So it depends on how things play out during the season. These in-season evaluations are huge. I believe the next time our coaches are going out on the road is probably the bye week at the end of October. That's just the way the coach wants it. So we'll get those guys out, and those in-person evaluations are key. And you know, with recruiting, guys just pop up every day. So there's always a handful that come out of the New Orleans area, and there's always guys that pop up late too that we're constantly evaluating. Thank you.